Ravens draft grades coming at you here. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports, ready to break down what the Baltimore Ravens have done through the first 3 rounds of the 2022 NFL Draft. And just telling you straight up, I think one of the biggest winners so far has absolutely been Baltimore. And they got a shit ton of picks tomorrow to go as well. So what you guys are going to see here are my reactions, my grades on every single one of the Ravens pick. And probably one of the biggest slides that ended up happening in round 1. Pick number 14, the safety from Notre Dame. Tom Downey had him as number 1. Yeah, that's not a misspeak. Number 1 overall rated prospect. I thought he was a top 5 talent. Baltimore gets him at 14. My number 1 interior offensive lineman, Tyler Linderbaum, who I thought was an absolute stud. One of my favorite prospects from the center position, and I've seen probably in 10 years. Number 25, David Ojabo, first-round talent. Sure, he's got the Achilles, but the connection there with McDonald makes a lot of sense. And then in round 3, Travis Jones. I thought this guy should have gone in the top 50. So we're going to go through every single one of these picks in depth a little bit more. Let's talk about the defensive tackle from UConn, who Baltimore ended up getting in round 3. Pick number 76. He's 6'4". He weighs 325 pounds. I think he's a little bit more of a run stopper from what I've seen. 48 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 4.5 sacks last season for the Huskies. And he had a phenomenal pro day, which is one of the reasons why he started to shoot up draft boards. And like I told you, I thought he was going to go in the top 50. You combine his talent with Calais Campbell, and then you go ahead and you add this young man right here, David Ojabo. And I remember a few days ago, I actually made a video here on this channel, and I said the number 1 player that I think Baltimore could take at pick 45 was, in fact, David Ojabo. Why? Now I get it. He had the Achilles injury, but if I was him and I was his agent, I'd say the number 1 team I'd want to go to, considering the fact that he's not going to play this year with that devastating Achilles injury. Why not go to Baltimore? Baltimore has always done a phenomenal job being able to find great linebackers, and his old coach that he had at Michigan is now the defensive coordinator, McDonald. It makes a lot of sense. Yes, it sucks that you're not going to be able to use him this season, but he's going to be a phenomenal player. He continues to get better and better and better, and he's going to be able to learn, not playing this year, sitting behind some really good coaching with the Baltimore Ravens. At round 1, pick number 25, I can't believe Linderbaum fell this far, and the only thing that I can really think of is sometimes NFL coaches, NFL executives, they outthink themselves. And yes, an interior lineman can sometimes be unsexy, but Linderbaum had a 99 overall grade according to the PFF in terms of run blocking. You know what Baltimore's going to do, especially since they traded away Marquise Hollywood Brown? They're going to run the football, and Linderbaum's going to be able to be mean. He's going to be nasty, and he's really going to set a tone for the Ravens, who, guess what? They're going to run, man. They're going to run the football. And then number 14, it's Kyle Hamilton. Every year, I don't know what it is, there are certain players that slide down the board, and it definitely considers that sometimes maybe that's safety. I remember a few years ago, the Chargers, they were able to get Derwin James at 17, and now you go back and you look at that draft, you're like, wow, shit, Derwin James is a hell of a player. Well, guess what? I get it. Kyle Hamilton, he might have ran a 4.73 40. Kyle Hamilton's just a good football player, man. So he's going to be able to come in here right away. He's going to be able to produce. They're going to be able to be a good combo with Marcus Williams. And if you want to slow down Deshaun Watson, you want to slow down the Pittsburgh Steelers, you want to slow down Joe Burrow and the Bengals, you need to have some good secondary. You need to have some good players, and the Ravens have killed it in this draft. So what is Chat Sports all about? Not only are we staying up late, it's on the East Coast right now. It is 1:16 in the morning. But you know what? We keep you guys up to date. We're keeping you guys covered here around everything going on around the Baltimore Ravens because we care. So go down in the comments and grade the Ravens draft so far. A, it's been an absolute slam dunk. B, it's been a good draft. C, it's an average. D, it's bad. F, it's effing bad. I'm going to go ahead and give the Ravens an A+. And there are only probably 2 teams that I would consider giving an A+ to right now. It's the Ravens, and it's the New York Jets and Baltimore. You get Kyle Hamilton at 14. You get Linderbaum at 25, 2 players who I had in my top 10. Then you go ahead, You get David Ojabo. If it wasn't for the Achilles, would have been a top 15 pick, but he goes to a team that is going to be able to use him the right way. Travis Jones, defensive tackle, they get him at 76, a guy right in the top 50. So at the end of the day, man, you got to be feeling really, really good. And Baltimore, yet again, I've been here at Chat Sports since 2017. We do draft grades at the end of every single NFL draft, and I feel like every single year I look at Tom Downey, and I'm like, Tom, the Ravens yet again are a big-time winner, and guess what? They are a winner yet again. If you love the Ravens, if you're excited about this year's draft, man, I don't blame you whatsoever. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications because you're not going to find another Ravens channel out there, I guarantee you this, that's making a video at 1:15 in the morning. Why? We're built different here. We're dedicated to our craft, and I'm looking at the clock right now, and I realize I got to get up in about 5 hours. You know why? Because Chat Sports is also going to be live tomorrow for the 2022 NFL Draft Day 3. It's going to be a wild day. It's a very strange day with rounds 4, 5, 6, and 7. Baltimore, it seems like they got every single pick on day 3. But Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, that's when we're going to be here. We're going to be here a lot earlier. We're just dedicated. Hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and check us out. Let's continue to run through some of these players that the Ravens went ahead and took in. We're going to see a lot of people probably bring up this whole David Ojabo pick. And when you look at the scouting reports that we have, the physical traits you look for in a dominant edge rusher and quick learner, two-time academic All-American. I still remember this day when the Michigan Wolverines were going up against the Ohio State Buckeyes, and Ojabo's parents got to watch him for the very first time. You have to keep in mind, he hasn't been playing football for all that long. And if you want somebody with upside, Ojabo has that upside with a culture that Baltimore has, with the coaching that Baltimore has, with the front offense that the Ravens have. The highest ceiling that David Ojabo has is with the Baltimore Ravens. Yes, he has to learn, and yes, he is injured, but this is a long-term play that the Ravens, and I know a lot of people are going to be very excited about. So go ahead now and scale it for me. Rate the Ravens day 2 draft pick. So only the day 2 guys. Ojabo at 45, Travis Jones, the defensive tackle from UConn in round 3, pick number 76. So only those picks. Those are the only ones you're allowed to go ahead and rate. I understand that Ojabo is not going to play now, and if you were to tell me, okay, rate them based on this season, I'll go ahead and give you a 70. Because I still think Jones is going to be able to participate. He's going to be able to impact that defensive line, and you need to be able to slow down Nick Chubb. You got to slow down Najee Harris. You got to slow down the running game of Joe Mixon, and Cincinnati's going to go and do. Long term, though, I'm going to go ahead and give this a 90-95 because I think both of these players are going to be very successful in the NFL. All right, y'all, I'm being told that we are ready to get the heck out of here. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day, and to make sure you don't miss any of the picks that the Ravens have, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and make sure you get your coffee ready because I know I'm going to need it bright and early tomorrow.